Well, I promised Janina that this speech would be less than a minute, and it is. But following the teachers of our master and mentor, certain preparations have to be done in advance. So let me just check that my GPS is set and working, just to see exactly where I am and where I'm going. And let me just attach my smelly calorie timer belt to my overweight, hairy, smelly belly. And then let me just, 1 second, have a quick shave with my handheld razor. It's quite an amazing machine because after using it, you end up being more unshaven afterwards than you were before actually using it. And then take a quick photo of this very interesting menorah. Okay. Which, according to my guidebook, נבנה על ידי הטורקים בשנת 1836 מיד לאחר המרד הדרוזי הרביעי. And just before we get go, we have a sandwich which Janina made after 3 nights of not sleeping, marked labane and old red pepper, which, judging by the taste, should have been marked inedible. And now we're ready to go.
What about the sex?
Right. Now, I first met Neil in the Latin prelim class of my legal studies at Wits. And what I remember that Neil would sit in front of me in class, holding hands with his young girlfriend, who would sit next to him, and they were very much in love. And I remember these 2 irritating, swinging arms distracting me as they held hands, and I was trying to take down the Latin notes. Now, of course, everyone's got their own tastes, but I could not but help think recently when a fat-legged, hairy tarantula was discovered in Neil's guest room underneath the basin where I was sleeping. Could not help but think in the gentle, almost loving way that Neil picked up this grotesque, hairy-legged spider. It brought back memories of that very same girlfriend who would sit in front of us in the Latin classroom. Now I can also tell you that Neil actually was a very, very brilliant and successful law student. And on our last year of law, we had a competition which we called the Moots, which was kind of a mock trial. And Neil got into the final out of all the law students. And if my memory serves me correctly, none other than a young Jewish judge called Richard Goldstone sat on the panel, later to, of course, achieve notoriety, and judged Neil to be the winner of that moot contest. And I'm quite sure that if Neil had not made Aliyah to Israel, he actually would have become a successful lawyer. Now, after our legal studies, we parted ways, and many, many years passed before I were to see Neil again. And the day was when, of all places, I went to the courtroom in Hadera for a court case, and I went to buy a sandwich, not of course as tasty as the ones Janina makes. And I wanted to sit down. In the courtroom in Hadera, they have little bar stools in the canteen. And I noticed a very, very overweight man sitting in front of me. In fact, he was so overweight that he was sitting on 2 bar stools. He had 1 buttock on each stool. And then, coming closer, I thought, well, I shouldn't judge him too badly because it seemed he'd been under some kind of cortisone treatment because he was so swollen. And after a second look, I realized to my horror it was actually Neil Horowitz. Since then, he's lost a bit of weight. And also since then, we've shared many great stories, adventures, and I want to thank him, first of all, for the professional help and guidance which you have given me, for the hospitality you have shown me, for all the great company and sympathy you have given me as we traverse the land of Israel on foot. And I wish you a wonderful birthday, many more, and long may our friendship and adventures continue. And now guess how many calories I burnt.
Just one in the fact.